Oh, hello, hello. Hello, hello. What's up, peoples? We back. But wait, when we back, there's also something else that we missing. Co-hostess, what are we missing right now?
I believe a little music is missing. Just a little bit
Oh,
of music.
oh yes, a little music.
A little bit of music.
DJ, will you hold my beer and play my music, please? Absolutely.
Yeah, highlight.
Damn, Melissa.
Don't forget the real though. Yeah, yeah. I bet you won't turn me up. What's that you bumping? It ain't vibing hard enough. Hey, no. Check my playlist, guaranteed you ain't hit top. From the indies to the mainstream, bringing out stuff. Music talks from Dwayne and Janean. Run it up. Run it. Huh. Pass that ox. Pass that ox.
Hey.
Bobby, through you. Back on the scene, Dwayne and Janean. I'm bringing the facts, they know what I mean. Music comparisons, yeah, it's embarrassing. Up in the Ford, I feel like I'm Harrison. Back on the fast track. Mighty and morphin' my name. Zach. Feel like a gentleman, top of my class. The legend, I'm feeling like 3 stacks. Hey, word to Aaliyah, taking it back.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest audio podcast about your favorite music discussions and topics of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, you know it, you love it, you missed it, we missed it too. It's past the ox. We in the building. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to my co-hosts with the most that's having that background effect for you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy, Dwayne. You already know, favorite neighborhood residential mediator slash podcast host. And of course, you already know the fiend of the intros, Prince Botch, all those many different names. And of course, I'm joined here with my favorite crew. You already know we in the building. So ladies first as always, right? You already know how we do. We gentlemen's up in this thing. So of course I'm gonna pass it over to my co-hostess, my true Kazo. You already know what all the buzzo. She is your queen of clatchets and Miss Bougie thugging herself. Janine, what's happening?
Wagwan, Wagwan. Oh, and I have a new AKA,
Oh, okay.
Claudette, when I'm on my Jamaican Wagwan rude gal type things. Know what I mean? So we can throw
Oh,
that in the intro now
Yes.
as well.
Claudette. Well,
Yeah.
no, look at that. I ain't
Gotta get a
mad at it.
Yeah.
Claudette.
Yeah.
So we got Cloud and we got
Can't do
Claudette.
Paulette because that's my aunt, so I'm gonna confuse that way too much. So yeah, had to be Claudette.
I have a Jamaican aunt named Paulette as well. So
I feel like
Oh,
every
shoot.
Jamaican family has a
for
Paulette.
sure.
I have a friend, she's got two.
That are probably
Oh, shoot.
sisters.
That's crazy. Like, hey, man, you know, you gotta love it. You gotta love
Mm.
it. Well,
Submit.
hey, shout out. I guess I got shoot. I'm gonna have to give me a little Jamaican name at some point too. Eventually, well, we'll figure that out at some other time. I mean, it is what it is. You know, hey, I mean,
Yeah.
my co-host is married to a Jamaican. You've got Jamaican in you. I have absolute 100% Negro Damas in me. But hey, it's all good.
Well,
Uh,
if you date a Jamaican,
true.
You would have Jamaican in you too if you want to break it down for real. So
Yeah, it's worth a try. At some point, it's bound to happen.
I see where you're going with that, Jenny.
Hey.
I
I love it. I love it. Well, of course, we can't forget the man, as you already know, the man with the plan, the hardest working man in show business. Yeah, y'all know how I introduce him
You're
on so many different
everything.
occasions. He's everything.
Does
He gives it
everything.
to you. Oh, and of course, we can't forget this title, though. He is your critique of Artiste
Yes.
with the niece. You already know it is the one and the only Derrick Myers. What's
Yes,
up,
sir.
sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on? Glad
Man,
to
it's
be
been
back.
glad to be back. Been a long time, y'all.
It's been a second.
Been a little second, man. I mean,
Yeah,
geez,
it's been
every
like
time
what,
it's
2 weeks or so?
2 weeks, a couple, it just feels
At
like
least.
centuries, man. It's
Yeah.
crazy how long. It's like, man, just a little time, and we're like, we back.
But it
Yeah.
never feels like it's a super long time because everyone is so busy. But then once we actually record, it's like, dang, I've been like actually seeing your face in a minute. Because
Yeah.
like we talk
Yeah,
every day, but
Yeah.
you don't realize
exactly.
we haven't recorded for real.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. It's beautiful, man. A lot's happened, a lot of stuff to talk about and cover and reminisce on and all kind of stuff. So shoot, without further ado, y'all ready to get on up into this thing?
Most definitely.
Oh, let's
Most
do it.
definite. All right. Oh, let's do it. Well, y'all already know how we like to start this thing off, man. First and foremost, as you know, we've been going for a minute, not that long of a minute, but just a little minute, just a little bit. So let's cover and talk about what's been in our ears as of late, man. So this is Derrick's cue to do his usual
Fair
cue.
enough.
So
Thank you.
My bad.
I have been listening to St. John a lot. St. John's first album has been in my library since it first dropped, and I've listened to it here and there. But we talked a lot about how sometimes you have to be in the right space to really receive a project, and I've been really vibing to it as of late. I like that he has this like rock star, Lenny Kravitz trapper. It's like he's everything kind of encompassed in one. He's lit. I've been listening to a lot of music with my daughter because we've been in the car riding around a lot, and she's really into like electronic dance music. So Rihanna, please don't stop the music. A lot of Dua Lipa. I put her on to Timberland and Katy Perry song.
Oh, wow,
She likes Bob Marley, and we were listening to a 90s R&B playlist, and she was like jamming, like dancing. She can't dance for real because she's my daughter, but she was feeling it, and that's what matters. The intent was there. You know what I mean?
Come on. Well, let's not forget the Jamaican is in her too. So that
so hopefully that kicks in, when she starts to go to dance and stuff. But we was looking real Caucasian in there. But we were listening to In Vogue, and I was like, 90s people aren't in love the way that they were in love in the 90s. Like, don't let go. She said, if I could, I would put on your clothes, pretend to be you, and lose control. That's borderline psycho. She loves this man.
That is next level.
That's next level. And no one's talking about this anymore. No one's in love like this anymore.
Yeah, but they made mention to that on 85 South show this last episode of how 90s R&B was just different. Just had guys singing differently and women also writing differently. It's just I agree with that.
Yeah,
I miss R&B. So
don't we all?
I miss it.
The real R&B,
the golden age of R&B.
Well, that's gone. So I guess we got to start appreciating this new wave.
Yeah, we gotta. It's cool in its own right. It's just not.
Yeah, it's cool.
90s,
but I'm sure that's how they felt about 90s R&B. Like, folks that listen to like Isley Brothers and like soulful love songs, and then you go to Body Rock and Knocking the Boots, and I'm fiending, and you know what I mean? Oh, we're getting straight to it. Okay.
Yeah. I love it. Oh my gosh. Woo, boy. That's what I'm talking about. H-Town, baby. Well, so what else you been vibing to, Queen? Has that been pretty much the move, most of it? I mean, we're talking about a long time of like me linking up. So, just making sure we got everything covered up in that thing.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Okay. Well then, Sir Derrick, the floor is yours, sir. What you been vibing to, man?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned R&B because I've been listening to a lot of R&B the last couple weeks. I don't know what it is, but it's just been like, and my sister literally asked me, she's like, "Are you like heartbroken or something? Like, are you okay?" I was like, no, like I just love R&B. Like I was listening to Boyz II Men. I think actually she did walk in while I was listening to Goodbye by Boyz II Men.
Were you laying on the bed in darkness, just kind of looking up, listening? Because that's probably what triggered the question.
I was literally just washing dishes. I was washing dishes or making dinner or something like that. Like I legit just like listening to good music while I'm just doing those things. So no, I was literally just vibing out, and yeah, she's like, "Are you okay?" I'm not. I'm good. Like I'm fine. But no, Normani,
Okay.
let me ask y'all something. Did you watch this new video, Wild Side? Okay, so that I think that dropped Friday, if I'm not mistaken. My God, I had never watched any of her videos before. Like this is my first video with her, and it legit brought me back to how music videos used to be, where there was emphasis on choreography,
Mhm.
and the cinematography in that video was just phenomenal. Loved it. Amazing movement, and it like I know everybody, if you watch the video, I know the main emphasis is like the sexual appeal to it. Like I get that. There's a lot in that video, but artistically that was phenomenal. Very well done. So she actually brought me back to the vibes of like 90s music, where you listen to the song itself, and you get that feel, but then you watch the video and you're like, oh, like I remember actually watching like MTV, like that. It brought me back to those memories, right? So I don't know, it made me actually go watch some of her other videos. I'm like, oh, so she's been doing this. Like she's been doing the choreography thing. I had no clue. I just listened to her like singing. I just
Mhm.
love her voice, but my God, she might be okay. So she doesn't have a big catalog, right? But
Here's a hot take.
she might be one of the few artists that actually, okay, let me say it like this. You know how we talk about like with sports? I hate every time we talk, I bring up sports, but you know how you talk about different players of today and if they could play in previous eras?
Mhm.
She's an artist that I believe would work in other eras of R&B.
Okay.
Like you take some other artists of today, like R&B artists. I really don't know who's new today, but some of them would not work in the 90s, early 2000s. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that just a segue. So Snow Allegra dropped a project, right?
Yes. Yes.
And it was I saw where there was like kind of like controversy because somebody was like Snow Allegra is our Sade.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And people were like, you can't compare the two. And it's like, no one's saying that she is, but I can see how she gives those vibes for
Yes.
sure. So
Yes.
that's just what made me think of that.
Yeah, no, and actually, she's another one that could work in other eras as well. I didn't like her artwork on the new album, but
You do like it?
I didn't.
I
That
didn't
was
like it either.
confusing as hell.
Yeah.
I didn't know if like I had mellow mushroom vibes looking at the cover art, and then like it doesn't blend with her, but whatever. Um, but I think she's another artist that could blend it into other that would work very well in other eras of R&B. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just not a lot of people. I think, correct me if I'm wrong. I think there are more female R&B artists now that transcend well more so than male artists. Is that me just overlooking, or is that truth
Could you repeat your last statement, please?
For today.
for today? Yeah,
You said
Okay, so
women transcend more than the
that
male
that
artists?
c- that could that transcend R&B in terms of like, maybe transcend is not the right word. That, let me say it like this: there are more female R&B artists that are more popular today than male R&B artists that could actually work in previous eras.
I don't know. I
That me
think
overlooking, or is that truth?
I don't know if it's so much more, but like we said on a couple previous episodes, like R&B exists. It's just not as mainstream as what it was in the 90s, right? So like if you're in it, like about Gideon, you know about
Hmm.
Lucky Day, you know about division, and you can
Mhm.
tell that they have influences from the 90s.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think like the same way you weren't necessarily up on Normandy and her artistry, maybe if you dug into the R&B bag a little bit more, you would find more male artists.
See, I'm familiar with Gideon, but the other, I think you named like one or two other people. Those guys I've never heard of.
Lucky Day is dope. Division is super dope. Yeah, there's a few male artists that are
Okay.
doing their thing.
Okay. So that is me overlooking that because I actually like. I guess I get stuck on the '90s R&B vibe. I just get stuck there, so it's hard for me to sometimes do a deep dive into today's music because I don't know. I know there are some artists that take it seriously, but there are other artists that more so not that they don't take it seriously, but they just don't care about fitting into
Mhm.
that vibe. They like there are a lot of artists that just like the trap sound as an R&B artist, and I can't rock with. I no no no. So but I do like a lot of these new artists, but
So I think to answer your question about that, two male R&B artists come to mind that probably would fit a '90s vibe. Um, off the top of the head, anyway, Daniel Caesar
yes,
Yeah.
and Khalid.
yes, yes, yes.
Those two off top definitely, to me, I feel would for sure transcend. Now, you can probably list a lot more women to also co with your point. You can probably quote way more women. The Janae Echoes and so many. Oh my
Do you
God,
think she would
scissors
work in the
and
'90s, Janae Aiko? Do you think she could work in the '90s?
Hmm.
Mhm,
I think so.
definitely SZA,
Hmm.
I'm gonna
Ari
tell you the
Lennox.
only reason why I asked that is because she has just like one sound, and like the '90s, like they it was harmonic and a lot of melodies in it. That's the only reason why I'm asking that.
Hmm.
That's the only reason why I'm asking that. Not that she's not good. I do like her voice, but it's just that it's
You
more
don't feel like
so
she has
monotone.
range.
Yeah, it's not a lot of range with her music. It sounds
That
so
makes sense.
what's her name? I'm not sure if you guys pay attention to Here's the Thing podcast show called Here's the Thing with
Mhm.
Kev on stage and that chick Angel. She actually said that Janae Aiko sounds like if you listen to her album, it sounds like one long ass song.
I've heard that before.
That is so it made me laugh, but it's a good point because it's just monotone. It's just that one area where she stays, that pocket, and it's not as harmonic. But I actually want to see if she can extend it. I wonder if she could.
Pretty sure. Pretty sure. I wouldn't be surprised. I think she would surprise some people a little bit.
Yeah,
But hey,
yeah.
We shall see.
we shall see. I agree. So, well,
What's been in your ears, Dwayne?
you know what, man? Quite a few, as you guys know, quite a bit. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just complete the round table here and say I've been on my R&B vibes too.
Yes, look at us.
Cause
Triplet flaming.
your boy been bumping a guy that I was listening to, and I said, you know what? This guy needs a fans battle.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was bumping some Brian McKnight.
Oh, I love
Oh my
Brian
god.
McKnight.
I was sitting there bumping. I was riding from work one night and I just was in the vibes. And I don't know, man. I just
Do I
put
ever
on some
cross your
Brian
mind
McKnight
any
and it
time?
just, boy, I was just starting back at one. You know what I mean? Just literally like, you're the only one for me, literally just cruising. Like, vibing on some B McKnight, man. It was just kind of like, yo, this guy really needs a fans battle on the slick. And I was like, man,
I would love that actually.
I was like,
Yeah.
slick, man, because this guy was, man, you almost forget about how dope that guy was as a vocalist, man. He was just killing those things, man. So was bumping a little bit of that. Found myself bumping 8701 Usher, so I had like You Got It Bad playing a little bit. Found myself listening to I was listening to Thundercat and really vibing to him a lot, man. Thundercat really had me in some vibes, and then just transitioning, I started going into like a whole funk phase, and out came, ironically, Cuzzo, the Isley Brothers, bumping me some
Hey.
Isley Brothers, bumping me some shoot, man. I was bumping all over the place. Yeah, I was on some Isley Brothers, bumped a little Ice Cube. I know that's a little far left because of the that's rap and not R&B, but found myself bumping some of my boy Ice Cube and the West Coast kind of vibe. And then of course, who's that one other artist that I said I was gonna mention? Oh, another guy that I think needs a fans battle. I was bumping some Nelly recently, not
Mm,
too long ago.
yeah,
I was
Fun.
bumping some
Oh
Nelly,
my
and
gosh.
I was
We are
like,
yeah,
why
coming.
hasn't he had a fans battle yet? I was like, gee, there's a
yeah,
guy that needs one
yeah,
badly.
yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
uh,
I would love that.
yeah, I was actually listening to the him and Ludacris playlist on Spotify. Versus has all their playlists on Spotify, and was playing some Call of Duty and happened to have the Nelly Ludacris one going back and forth, and there were so many Nelly songs I had forgot all about, and was like, God, I ain't heard this song in a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
God, I ain't heard this one in a minute, yo, and I was just like, yeah, he needs a fans battle ASAP.
How how do you listen to music while playing Call of Duty?
Oh, easy, easy. Man, listen.
I can
That
feel it
that
too,
fuels me.
man.
Men do
Music.
that, and that always throws me. Y'all will have the game playing,
Mhm.
music blasting. You're able to talk to us. Like we don't appreciate the fact that y'all multitask on what y'all want to multitask on.
You know what? I'm so glad you said that. Now, spoiler alert. I don't have a woman, so that side is easy. But
Yeah.
I
what I
am
do is,
accepting applications. I will be going over resumes. We will be setting up
that's
blind
my
dates.
assistant. That's my assistant. So
Yeah.
I let
Email
her
me.
handle that. I let her handle that. I trust her. But nah, you right. Cause I'm gonna tell you to answer your question. Me and my boy, we communicate. My boy Bob. Shout out to my boy Bob. We get on almost every other night. So what happens is we'll talk on the chat, and whether I'm in the headset or whether I just play it through the TV or whatever, I'll play. Generally, it works better when I'm in my headset
Yeah.
though, because then I can adjust the volume. That's what I love about Xbox. You can adjust your volumes and your levels, and so I just kind of play whatever I'm feeling. Actually, music really helps me in a Call of Duty zone a lot because a lot of times, like for example, I told shout out to Darren of I Am Tremont. I was telling him that I was bumping some Michael Jackson, another guy that I was playing throughout playing Call of Duty. Who knew that guy makes good Call of Duty music? And I was like, shoot. Well, I think I was killing with some Michael Jackson, boy. I was out there just I had off the wall mic.
Who's bad? Oh, well, who's
Look,
bad came on. You
come
was
on.
like,
Oh boy, what? Look,
nigga,
beat
what?
it. Look, beat it.
Yes.
They don't really care about us. Who's bad? And what was the Thriller? Actually, was surprisingly pretty good to play too.
That's
Man, he had a
Man,
lot. I ain't gonna lie, man. I was like, look at Mike helping me get through these these maps and
that's
stuff.
hilarious.
Yeah. Oh man, it was gangster, shot. I was like, man, who needs rap when you got Mike? I was like, this works. I was like,
That's
um,
hilarious.
yeah, man. But yeah, y'all. That about sums up for the most part what I was on, man. I was on those guys, and I think because it's been a minute, I don't think I got to mention this last time, but I was also bumping my boy James Brown pretty hard too.
nice.
Oh
I've
wow.
been vibing to it. It's a Man's World very hard. I don't know why, but that song hits me so differently now. I
Really?
was literally just bumping that
You a grown
over
up
and
now.
over,
That's why.
Yeah.
and
Grown.
it just
Grown
really
people.
like listening to it, like understanding the fact that that song hits so differently right now because it's like you can tell he meant that and he felt that as he sung it, but it's like when you really sit there and just listen to the lyrics and you're already vibing to like the musicians playing it,
Hmm.
but like when you listen to his words, man made the train, man did this, man did that. You know, this a man's world, but it ain't nothing without a woman. You know, it's like
Mhm.
signifying like that's the type of song you can listen to if you are married, if you are in a relationship, or if you're like me, you out here single, but you
Yeah.
understand the fact that you like, man, I'm a man and I'm out here living, trying to be a man, trying to be in this man like world, this and that. But dang, it sure don't mean nothing without a woman. So it make you sit there and say, God, dog, man, if I had a woman right now, like that extra like umph to kind of
It
like
pushes you.
it pushes you, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it was kind of like again, I was just sitting there vibing to that and just understanding that. So it was like
During 2K, I mean, Call of Duty, or
no, actually, yeah. No, he's another one that makes some good Call of Duty
really?
music. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, actually, yeah. He makes some good Call of Duty music too, man. You listen, play some get up off of that thing, play some I feel good, play some oh, and don't get me started on I'm black and I'm proud and the
Oh,
get
kill
back,
that.
Oh,
the get back.
if you play on Black and on Proud against a MAGA player on
Oh,
Call of Duty,
I've played a couple of MAGA players. I
yeah, I
have.
know, I
I've
know,
played a
I
couple
know
of
you
MAGA.
have. I know.
And that but look, that get back though. That get back when you hear that
Yeah.
and you just boy, that jump be hitting. You be like, hey, you be like, okay. Next thing you know, it feels like I'm watching Judas and the Black Messiah. God dang it, I get my
That's
favorite gun.
hilarious.
And I'm like, let's go.
So
Boy, I'm in the
has this been a conversation on one of your other or on one of the other OTS podcasts about like that whole live gameplay and the people you interact with and how they get real racist when they losing?
Oh my
No,
god.
it hasn't yet. It
Uh-uh.
needs to. But lucky for me, like, you know, my guy Bob, as y'all can tell, is a white guy. And I mean, he understands privilege even more now because he actually admitted to me how he used to sell drugs back in the day, like weed, Molly, all of that. Like he did the stuff and sold the stuff. And he actually told me, he was like, yeah, one time he was like, man, I could just have that stuff in the car. You know, he doesn't do none of that no more, obviously. But back when he did do it, he was like, man, I used to have that in my car. I could do this, do that. And he was like, man, the cop wasn't gonna stop me because I'm white. And I was just like, dang, that's sad. And he was like, yeah, I know, bro, because unfortunately, I now see that, you know, I got privilege and it sucks. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he understood, like, he understood. He's cool as, he's one of the
Right.
coolest white guys I know, because I mean, he's married to a black woman for one. So
I'm
that,
gonna
but
tell
he also knows, like, he's very aware and he hates racism.
Derrick feels
Like,
away.
he
no,
does. He
no.
hates it.
You know what? No, I had a brilliant idea that if I were a drug kingpin, I would use just
A
use
white
white
guy, right?
guys. Yeah.
Yeah,
As a
yeah.
middle,
Use your white guy. Hey, look, man, careful. You can't get that secret out on the airwaves. This is gonna get popping. But
Hey, it ain't me.
oops,
It ain't me. I mean,
oops.
I had nothing to do with it. I'm just
Hey,
saying
you know, I
that'd be a
mean,
great way to put to get some stuff by.
yeah, nah. I mean, at this point, you might as well, because you're right, man. It's
Yeah.
like, what do you do? What do you say? How do you act? You know, but nonetheless, man, y'all, yeah, that's fun, man. But me and him usually just kind of be in a private party chat and we just talk to each other, but we don't really like listen to the ignorant folks like that. But I have heard, and it's funny, you know, because then you're just like, okay, I hear you, you
Yeah.
know, shoot them.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
about to
Take
shoot
that.
you even
Yeah.
more now.
Take
Okay.
that. Yeah, yeah, you know, and then
It
after that
does.
while you just
It does. Excuse me. It does fuel you.
yeah, yeah. You
It
just be
fuels
like,
you.
okay, keep on. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, that about sums up what's been a fun version of what's in our ears. We would love to know what's in y'all ears. So y'all make sure y'all letting us know out there because we love to know what y'all been vibing to like us. So we gonna transition and turn this thing over to the queen of Clutch It, who gonna bring over some entertainment news for your boys. So Queen, take the floor. It's all yours, man.
Yeah, so first and foremost, not to be a vibe killer, but rest in peace to Keisha Cole's mom, Frankie.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, you know, a lot of us, got introduced to her and kind of got attached to her through Keisha Cole's show on BET, I believe.
Mhm.
I actually had the opportunity to meet Frankie years ago, and just like a really sweet spirited person. A lot of times when people are honest about their struggles with addiction, they kind of get this stigma on them, and there's not any room for empathy. But to have known her in person, it's just it hurts to know that she passed. So rest in peace to her. Love and prayers to Keisha and her family and all the fans that are affected by it for sure. Um, so I want to talk about the baby situation, right?
Which one?
So y'all saw where the kids were trying to jug him for they were trying to charge him $200 for the candy. He was basically like, nah, and gave him like $4 or something.
Yeah.
And then it got like a whole bunch of backlash. Like people like, yo, like you should have gave them the 200 or more. You got it. I believe Soldier Boy came back and gave them a bunch of money. And it's just like, why do y'all what these expectations that y'all have for these celebrities is ridiculous.
I thought he
So I
did the
just
right
wanted to know
thing.
y'all's perspective on that.
Yeah, he did the right thing. Like they, especially when he was going to actually give them a lot of money, and
Yeah.
they tried to take advantage of him anyway. Like that's teaching him a lesson. Stop.
Lesson learned.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and see, here's the thing. I would love to have seen him do that to these water boys in Atlanta. If he did that to them, that would have been like icing on cake. These guys are ferocious.
Mm,
But no, he did the
wow.
right thing. He definitely did the right thing. I mean, they don't need to they don't need to try to get more like that just because they know he has money. You know, like you're not entitled to his money. That's why I don't understand why people think that
Not
because
entitled. Exactly.
yeah, I don't understand why if someone's rich, famous, you feel like you're entitled to what they've earned. Nah.
I really thought this was a joke. I did not know this was a real situation that actually legitimately happened. I just thought it was like an internet joke.
Oh, you didn't see the video?
Um, no, I did not see the
Oh,
video. I didn't even know there was a video to this, to be honest. So now you got me. I mean, now y'all got. I mean, honestly, to anybody who's like, man, where you be on? When it comes to my social media lately, like I'm on it for like 2 seconds and then I'm off. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I don't get it lately, just
yeah.
lately. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been so busy where I haven't really had time to just be sitting there like checking stuff out. Did not know there was a video to it, but I did see the part. I believe my cousin actually posted it with the whole Soldier Boy thing. So again, I thought that was just like a troll, and I'm like, what is that? What the heck, But to know that this actually happened, so with me reacting to this live, well, shoot, I don't blame him. I mean, look, man, you can be a celebrity and be tight. First of all, second of all, have y'all not learned from TLC the fact that you can't be out here just thinking because you're hearing somebody on the radio and this that they're like super rich? Do we need to remind you what rappers make and how they make it? Do we need to remind you of that? You think because you seeing them all on the billboards and hearing all this and seeing them at work, you think they rich all of a sudden? Do I need to remind you of that?
Especially
No.
if they're signed to a label.
Yeah, like do I really need to remind you of that? No, people. So first of all, take that out your mind. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But hey, if he felt generous to do it, then he would have did it. It's his right. If he don't want to do it, you can't make him feel guilty about it.
Nope.
So I know you kids, but so what? Hey, you'll be all right. You'll live, you know. And Soldier Boy apparently was dumb enough to give you some money anyway. So there you go.
So those were the same boys?
Or at
I
least
don't know.
I don't
Okay.
know.
Honest,
Maybe
I
not.
didn't research it enough. I just saw where he went back and gave kids that were selling things a bunch of money.
Okay, well, maybe it wasn't those specific kids. So, oh well, it sucks for them. But hey, you still made man. You know the hustle. Come on, stop trying to.
Right.
Well, what threw me off about it was that the boys told told him that they make 200 off donations per
That's
box,
just
something
sad.
like that. Like, get the donations then. Like,
That's just sad.
stop trying to hustle people out of their money just because you know they got money. That's all, you know.
Yeah,
And
that's
I think he taught them a good lesson.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I don't blame him for it. You know,
No.
hey, look, go ahead, baby. Show him what you show him what it is. You
Right.
know. So, Cuzzo, what else?
That's all. That's all I have on the entertainment front.
Wait,
I've
well,
been reading books.
hold on. We ain't gonna go off there. You know, I got to do this one time. In order for this edition of the entertainment news, I'm gonna do this one time and one time only.
Gets the
Feel free to
people going.
feel free to join me if you want. You know, feel free to join me if not. You know, it's all good. You know, but it's all good. I'm just gonna do re mi. They were okay. All right, we're good.
Bismarck.
Oh baby, you got what I need, but you say just a friend. But you say just a friend. Oh baby, you got what I need. But you say just a friend. But you say just a friend, ladies and gentlemen. Rest in
Yes,
peace to the almighty Biz
Sir.
Marquee, man.
indeed, indeed.
We've seen the outpour on social media, seen my boy Cool J, you know, choking up in tears, man, and sharing stories and just everybody and just showing the love, man, to a legend. Actually makes me want to go listen to Mario Just a Friend because I remember listening to that song, you know,
Yeah.
loving that song so much and not even realizing at the time there was like an original version of that. And I was like,
Yeah.
wait. But I do remember hearing Biz Marquee on the remix to Just a Friend 2000. I
Mhm.
always wondered why that song was called Just a Friend 2000. Uh, with Mario,
Oh,
like I saw it in the title sometimes, and I'd be like, "Why is this called Just
Why
a
you have to
Friend
put the
2000?"
2000?
Yeah,
yeah.
I was like, you know, I was like, is it just because it comes out in 2000? Like, what? I don't get it. And then found out, like, oh, there's an original to this. Like, oh, that's what's up. So
Yeah.
just me being, you know, one of those who didn't research in my generation as a youngin, like, oh, duh, the songs you have, we had these before back in the day. This
It's
is
a
just
Yeah.
a remake.
sample.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. I didn't know. Like, I know now. You know, but actually, cuz I don't even know if you remember, I had a rap game back in the day. I think it was called Rap Star. It's like a little karaoke rap
I do
game on the
remember this.
360. You remember
Mhm.
that?
I
Came
do.
over to the fam crib and we played it, and we all
Mhm.
just started jamming out some of our old favorite songs that we rapped the lyrics to. And Biz Marquis' song Just a Friend actually was on there. And I believe that's when like Uncle Charles and all them was rapping that because they knew that. It was like, oh yeah. And we were just like, okay, we don't know this as well as y'all do. We know the hook. We were like, we know the hook. We were watching them just go at it like,
Right.
and we were like, all right, we don't know this as well. But again, man, rest in peace to Biz, man. He was in so many different cameos and always doing just so many dope things, and you can tell he was a great guy. So
Mhm.
just had to do that one time for my fellow beatboxers out there and all that good stuff. We love it. But
May
yeah,
I add something?
go right ahead.
Sample triggered my memory. So Kanye West had a listening party for his 10th album, Donda, and
Yes.
people have been giving their feedback.
Okay.
Um, so the respectfully guy, Justin LeBoy, was saying that the production is light years ahead of its time. He can't wait for it to drop, and it's going to be the only thing everyone's listening to. Someone else said that there's a song where he's speaking about him and Kim and how living with her was like a prison, or maybe the breakup is like a prison. And he got emotional and cried during the listening party. So, are you all excited about the 10th album? Are you gonna actually give it a chance, or are you like over Kanye because of his antics outside of the music?
Okay, I'll start this one off and say this is actually kind of fitting because I was actually bumping some Kanye, like also that I forgot to mention and what it, what was in my ears. And I was actually listening to my favorite Kanye album, Late Registration. And then I also found myself listening to Graduation. So I was listening to those two early morning. And so to the plan was to go on like a Kanye journey, listen to an album a day, but kind of just went to those two and I never got to go back around to listening. But uh yeah. Um I'm excited. I mean, what was the last album? I believe it was Jesus is King. And I know that was different for a lot of people.
Hmm.
People didn't necessarily like it rapping wise, but they respected it from a faithful standpoint as far as, pouring his heart out and all of that and his
What
faith.
did you think about it as a CHH rapper, kind of, sort of?
Not his best, but I mean, the production was always what it is. I mean, you could tell he did his thing production wise per usual, but rapping wise, I could tell he was trying to find his feet with that. And, he's had way better lyrical type of I mean, it was a couple of tracks on it that was nice off first listen, but I mean the majority of it as a whole was kind of let down per se, but not really. I mean, again, it depends on what standard you hold Kanye to. So I guess it's somebody that knows like the late registrations, the college dropouts, the 808s and heartbreaks, all of those type, when you hold it to those type of standards, not his best album. But again, as somebody who does Christian hip hop, yeah, I could see where his heart was behind the bars, but at the same time, it's just again, I think he just needs a couple of legit Christian hip hop artists that are dope lyrically to, kind of ghostwrite for him a little bit to help him kind of just like he did on the secular side, just help him ghostwrite a few bars to really just add to that production a little bit. But this album though should be interesting because I'm assuming he's cursing on this one. So I guess it's back from regular Christian Kanye to secular Kanye, which should be interesting because he's won awards on the Christian side for that album. So this should be interesting hearing this one. It's Kanye, so I'm definitely gonna listen, especially with that kind of hype of, hey, I don't think anyone else is gonna listen to anything else after this. That's tough talk, given that
That
J.
is.
Cole dropped an album and people said album of the year. So if he plans on dropping that within this year, that's a lot of
Are
hype.
y'all still listening to J. Cole's album? Not you, Derrick. You don't count. I'm sorry. Dwayne, are you still listening to J. Cole's album?
As of late, no, but I mean, I
No.
know I know it's still a good album. I mean, obviously, I'm going to the concert in September when he comes to Atlanta for the tour,
Yeah.
so I'll be revisiting it. I just haven't, not right now. I'm not the super fan that my good buddy Derrick is, of course, but I still rocks with Cole. It's still cold world over here at the same time. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but yeah, I am interested to see because we were kind of talking about that on the episode. I believe Darren was joining us for that, and we were kind of talking about is this album of the year, and we were like, well, it's still a long year. Some who we don't know who else could drop, but whoever it is, I mean, Big Sean had already dropped something like a year or two ago, so we knew he wasn't gonna drop
He actually
Drake's
dropped something this year.
like an album or EP.
It was something. I don't know what
Yeah,
it
he did.
was. But he did drop
Detroit
something this
too,
year.
or something.
No, that was last year.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was
that
gonna say
was
that was
last
last
year.
year. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was.
What?
yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
didn't
Wow.
quite come out in 2021, unfortunately. But
I don't know
if
if it
it
was a
did,
full album. I think it may have just been an EP, but I know he did drop something recently.
It
okay. So,
says it
Yeah.
says 2021.
oh no, yeah, that was the deluxe. That's what that was. That was the
Oh,
deluxe. That was
okay.
Detroit to the
Oh, got you,
deluxe.
got you.
So
Okay.
yeah, no, guys, yeah, he hasn't dropped any. Yeah, I was about to say, I rocks with Big Sean. So I was about to say, I would have
Okay.
known if he dropped something because
No,
y'all
This
know
year is
I
flying by. Jeez.
yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
It is. We're literally more than halfway through it at this
Mm-hmm.
point. But yeah, guys. I mean, Drake's teasing people with the certified lover boy stuff, so we don't know. And I mean, shoot, I don't
Kendrick
know who
hasn't
else.
dropped yet.
Can
Kendrick
we
hasn't
talk
dropped
about
yet.
Drake's date though, real quick? He rented out like a stadium. Like,
That
how
is
do you
shitty.
legit rent out a stadium for privacy and the helicopter still finds you? Like, it must suck to be famous. I mean, like, not just like try to give them pity because like you're living the life, but at the same time, like, my guy, how much more
Here's
Now,
the
secluded
thing.
do I have to, you know?
Here's the thing. I
You think you did
would
it on
have
purpose?
hell yeah, because here's the thing. I'm not going to try and get sympathy for that if I'm going somewhere there's no roof.
mhm.
In LA,
I was
Well,
so about to ask. This must be a
that's
stadium
true.
with no dome. I
No, it's like
guess.
a baseball
it
stadium.
was Dodger
Yeah.
Stadium.
Yeah, Dodger
Yeah.
Stadium. Okay.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
explains it.
yeah, literally no roof. Like so, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say like I feel bad for him because he,
Yeah,
paparazzi.
like I don't feel bad, but like it must.
I mean,
Sorry,
I
man.
would imagine that it sucks, but hey, I mean,
That's the price you pay for fame.
that's, I mean, if you want to go inside, go inside. Like, I'm pretty sure you could have gone to the owner's suite or something like that. Like you didn't have to be on the field.
Okay. Okay. True
You know
that.
what I'm saying?
Let me ask y'all this then. If y'all had it like that, right? And
Mhm.
let's not necessarily say famous. You just got it like
Had
that,
the
right?
money. Yeah,
Just got
Yeah.
the money. Is that a standard? Is that something you guys are doing for your significant other?
Maybe because I like grandiose gestures of like romance. So yeah, let's rent out the fucking stadium and have this private dinner. And it's a flex. Like not everybody's gonna be able to rent out a stadium for this date.
this is the second time he did it this year.
Oh, so he got it like that. Got it like that. Heard you.
Yeah,
I didn't
like
know this the second time.
this was. I mean, the first time he did it was when he what was that award he just got, artist of the decade. I think it was right after like celebrating that he rented out a some, I don't know where it was. I don't know which stadium it was, but he rented something out where he had everybody on the football field, and
That's lit.
yeah, it's amazing, right? I mean, like, kudos to him. I, I don't know that I would care about putting money into that. I
Would you do it if you knew the girl you were courting or really liked would appreciate a
if
gesture
she's
like
okay, I'll tell you what. If she's a sports fan,
that?
if she's a sports fan and that's something that she likes,
But that limits it.
Not necessarily. Look, man, cuz
no,
I
I'm
know
just saying.
I know how you feel about the sports game, but there
No,
women
yeah, I know there are
like
some
them.
women who like genuinely love sports, but
Yeah,
like
it's
Yeah.
man,
I
look,
mean,
hey,
if she likes, if she's big into football, basketball, baseball, like that kind of her favorite team, okay, now that's something you're different you're talking about. But then again, it's like, when would you do that? Because like I feel like first date, that's setting the bar way too high. That's why I
what
don't
if
know
he
where,
meant for
where
it
does
to be a
Drake go
one
after this.
one and done? I'm about to woo
That's
you on
different.
this one date. I'm gonna blow your socks off and however you want to take that.
Yeah.
And now whoever you date after me,
See,
sorry.
that's a different flex. That's a different flex.
Yeah,
You did
like
that
this
one
is
time,
literally for just one night.
but
Enjoy.
if I'm talking about for my woman, like when the hell did I do that? Can't do it on Valentine's Day because no other Valentine's Day is going to be the same. Can't do that on Christmas. So holidays are out. Anniversary, I don't know. That's like
nope,
some
because you got
sort
to
of
top that too.
monumental. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
you
that's
got
got to
to
be a
top that too.
monumental year.
Yeah.
That's how I'm thinking about it. Like now, I'm not trying to set the bar so high that every year I gotta stress about how I can beat that. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's true.
that would be my only thing about that. But if you're doing a one off and you just want to screw over other guys that are coming after, petty level, I love that.
Petty Wap.
I love that. That is phenomenal.
That yeah,
That is
yeah.
phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, you know what, man? Yeah. I have to say, man, I mean, it's an interesting thing to think about. I mean, because it's weird to try to, I mean, I'm just sitting here saying, like, why would I really want to rent out an empty stadium?
That's my only question.
We're
Just
thinking
for
this
a
from
day.
us though. Like, think of it from Drake's standpoint. I can rent out this stadium obviously every month if I wanted to. Like, it's not a big deal for him.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
and I mean again, that's why I put us in that same scenario. Like if we had it like that, like I'm saying, even with me having it like that, I'm still just trying to make logic out of why exactly would I do that?
That's
Again,
my
now
point, yeah.
if she loves sports, then okay, I can understand that. I can understand proposing to you in a stadium or
That's what
marrying
Kanye
you
did.
or in a state, or marrying you in a stadium. I can understand something like that, or shoot, maybe like a little homecoming king and queen kind of deal in a stadium, or something creative like that kind of deal. But just a
Monumental
regular
birthday.
yeah, monumental birthday, like, but a regular old date.
Just a date makes no sense.
That's weird.
That's a waste of money. Because think about it, you got to pay for the food, and it's not like he's catering Moe's or something like that. He probably got.
That would have been lit if he catered it by Chipotle on Super
Yeah.
Bowl. I would have been like,
The delivery driver just
let's
pulling
just
up,
do
just
it.
hey man, I'm at the
Like,
stadium. Wait a minute, what am I doing at the stadium?
You
Chipotle.
spent all of this
Oh,
on Chipotle,
you know,
bro. No.
like, oh snap, it's Drake. Just, yeah. Oh, I see you, dog. Yeah, do your thing, bro. Hey, let me get this. There you go. Hey, do your thing, man. Enjoy your day, bro. Oh, it's Drake. Oh, hey.
See, and that's
Exactly.
the thing. Like you got to pay for the food. You got to pay for the staff that's coming in. You got to pay for the lights. Those lights cost in those big arenas. That's a lot. So like it's just like that's where my mind would go. Like how I'm spending how much.
Would you do it to win a girl back?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would make sense. See, that makes
Stadium
sense.
status.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to woo you back into my good graces.
I'm showing you. I'm heavily now. What will suck is if I do all of that and I don't get her back.
At least you can say you tried, my guy. You literally pulled
But can I
every
write it
rabbit
off?
out the bag.
Can
That's
I write
true.
it off at that point?
I mean, she's
Can
charity
you?
at this point. So yeah.
Yeah.
Write
Nah,
it
that
off.
that don't make sense.
I would do it as a business. Yeah, I was just so I could write it off. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, man. That's a lot of money. I don't know. That has to be that. I hope and pray for him, for his sake. Everything went well that night.
He did.
I pray.
I agree. I hope it went
Pray
well.
that-
Please.
Man, that would
'Cause,
suck. Could you imagine? You do all that and it's just like get a good night kiss on the cheek and that's it.
But Drake seems
Bro.
like he does super romantic things for girls. Like he just considers to be friends too. Like that,
Yeah,
like I
that's
feel like he
weird,
would
though.
do that for just a friend. Like, okay, you have a good day. I'll see you next month on another grand date,
Let me ask you something.
friendship date.
How do you think Jude would react to that if you had a friend that just did something romantic like that?
Oh
as a
no,
friendship.
absolutely not. But who's to say like she has a significant other? Like she could be
Okay.
single, ready to mingle, doing her own thing, but they just have a really good friendship and they have these little link ups as friends where they do because like when the helicopter came in, they didn't look like super cozy and romantic. Like it seemed like they was just like chilling, talking.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not to say I don't know, but I feel like Drake would do something like that for somebody that he just considers to be a friend that he likes to kick it with every now and again.
I don't have any friends that I would do that for.
First of all, I'm hurt, and we can just like
no.
stop
I'm saying going on a date, spending all this money for a date with a friend.
What
Come
constitutes
on.
a date though? Because like, let's say if me and my homegirls go out, like
Mhm.
it's been times where I'll cover the tab or they'll cover the tab. Like we don't, you know what I'm saying? Like we just pick it up because we're friends.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like, why is it an assumption that just because it's a guy and a girl, if the guy pays, it's an automatic date?
Because there's no way in hell he's spending that much money
I agree because I
just
wish
for a
Jude
friend.
might come home and tell me that
Oh my
he doesn't
god.
know. I'm just trying to see if y'all had a different perspective,
You're
but
going
no.
that far.
Yeah,
out.
although there are some that try to say it's not a date, but it's yeah, I agree. It's
Yeah, let's just go to
it's-
let's just if we're just friends hanging out,
mhm.
we can go somewhere where it doesn't cost me close to $1 million for the night.
Would y'all do what Maul did? Did y'all hear this story?
Mm-mm.
So Maul, from the Joe, well, formerly from the Joe Budden podcast,
Old friend.
an old friend. He said that he was out and he saw one of his female friends. He said they had been on like a date before, but they weren't like serious. He said this was just a female friend. And he saw her out on a date with somebody else and he paid for their tab.
Mm, okay,
No,
just cause, huh? All right.
no,
Just
that's not
because
a
I
just
think
cause.
I
There's
think it
no
was
way.
supposed to be a flex. I feel like
Yeah,
it was supposed to be a flex, but people was like, "Nah, ma, you took the L on that one."
yeah, yeah. Um, I'm pretty sure there's more to that story where he thought she was by herself and he was just coming over to kick it with her and come to find out, old boy was in the bathroom the entire time.
He said he knew he saw them. Apparently, it was like an inside joke, so like he covered their tab.
Was funny.
I
What's
don't
the
know. I
punchline?
think she was saying like if that ever happened to her, I don't know. But I feel like it was a conversation that they had before of like what would you do in this situation, and she found it to be funny. So as an ongoing inside joke, he saw her out and decided to pay for their tab.
Nah. See, okay, I'll say it like this. If I bump into you and Jude, right? And I
Yes.
know like this is like y'all's anniversary or something like that. Boom, I got you.
Battle on me.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I go see when I'm like someone that I've been on a date with that's a friend now out with someone else and I just want to pay for their tab and it's haha. Hell no. See, Maul's not telling that story right. There's something off about that story.
Like
There's
something
something
left out.
so much more to that he's deleting he's taking out a lot of L's on this one.
Você, o garçom explainando todo.
He's leaving out a lot of details on that one. That makes no sense.
Uh-oh.
So as the man that was on the date, would you feel tried or would you be like, damn bro, thanks for the free meal?
Thanks for the free meal.
Thanks for the free
Goodbye.
meal. Yeah, appreciate you.
Because at
I'll
the
give
end,
you
she's
that
still
money.
my chick.
Yeah, well,
She ain't following you, homie.
we can go do something else.
Exactly. Oh, thank you. You just helped me on the budget,
Right.
baby. I'm
Yeah.
good
Our
to go
dates will
now.
be longer now. We get to do
Yeah.
more things.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. You the man, homie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Hey, why
Thank you
not?
very much. Yeah. Nah, I mean, nah. There's no way. There's no way. He's that's definitely a big L for Mal. There's no way he did that just as a punchline. There's no joke in that.
Well,
Sad. One quick little note of entertainment before we move on. I don't think we got to cover this in a previous episode, but Janean, I know you forgot about a certain rap phenomenon, princess, queen, however you want to put her, who was impregnated with her second child in Cardi B.
Cardi B, yay.
Oh.
I feel like we talked about it a little bit
Yeah, you did.
on some podcasts.
No, you
This
brought it up.
one.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
brought it up.
Did we?
Because we
Did
were
we bring
talking
it up?
about the paparazzi and how they were getting everybody's business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So then,
Yeah.
well, we'll just talk about how she continues to flex and apparently is teasing people with her verse on an upcoming song. By the way, with those interesting sensual pregnancy, still sexy type of videos that she posted just to tease people about the upcoming verse. So yeah, that was interesting to see.
I think that was
Uh,
Wild Side with Normani.
yes,
I think that because
yes,
she was talking about the sucking the watermelon through the straw, right? They were asking her how she, yeah.
I think
yeah.
this is important. I think this is important because I feel like why is it when we become moms, like you're suddenly expected to like tone everything down and like you have to be conservative now and like you're not sexy anymore.
Mhm.
And I feel like you should be hyped up and feeling the most sexy during and post pregnancy because you just brought life into the world. And just because I'm a mom now, that does not mean that I'm not still this beautiful, sensual, sexual woman. Um, I don't know if I will feel comfortable necessarily doing sexy things on camera, like to be looked at as a sex symbol while with child, but I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? If that's what's empowering to you, then do your thug thistle.
I actually forgot she
Mhm.
was pregnant in that video.
See, you didn't
See,
even know.
you really forgot. I forgot it,
They
but
well,
hey,
they see the thing is I think they hit her stomach.
well, you could see it. Like I remember
You could
seeing it,
see
but
it,
it
but
just
they did a
It
good
wasn't the
job.
first sight you
focus.
weren't. Yeah, at
Yeah, it
first sight
wasn't.
it
It
wasn't.
wasn't.
Yeah, you weren't looking at that at first sight. You know, it's like
Oh,
yeah,
not at all.
not
That was not the primary focus at all.
not at all. You know, but hey, gotta love it, man. Gotta
Yeah,
love it. It's a beautiful
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I'm gonna pass this. Normally I do this, but I'm actually gonna pass this over to brother Derrick because I don't have my phone in front of me to check the OTS page. But sir, I need you
Oh,
to take over the music history and just quote a few facts from some of the recent music posts on anniversaries that we're celebrating in music culture with certain projects that were celebrating an anniversary.
you know what? I don't think we. Oh, well, no, I think we did cover that. Miguel Wildheart.
No, that didn't get no.
We
We
didn't
didn't
cover
cover
that.
that one. No,
Well, it's been 6 years. 6 years
6
with
years since.
Miguel since he dropped Wild Heart, and that was June 29th. God, it feel
Wow.
we really have not
Yeah.
recorded.
That's another guy who needs a fans battle. You know, yeah,
Yes,
that's a good one. That's a
I
good one.
agree.
Miguel definitely needs a fans
He
battle.
needs one for sure.
Who would you want to see him go up against?
Ooh, that's a good question. uh, wow.
I don't even know who you would pit against him. Um, I almost have to look and see what other artists are like him because I can't remember.
There's one that comes to mind, but I kind of already had a scenario for him who we kind of already,
I
still
think I know
gotta,
what you got to say because I
yeah,
was thinking the same thing, but
yeah,
that's why I want him for that matchup too,
yeah,
not Miguel.
yeah, yeah. We gotta, I got him in mind already, gotta finish
Yeah,
gotta finish what we started.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know who else.
But aside from that guy, I don't know. I don't know who else would have, gotta find, that's, you know, Daniel Caesar's not long enough to do that, and he doesn't have enough known. Yeah, he's like on pop star status too. So like, man,
I kind of almost, kind of a little bit want to say Mario, kind of, sort of, a little bit.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because Mario dropped an album
mm-hmm.
um, a couple years ago
Yeah.
that I felt like put me in a Miguel type of vibe as far as just being like ultra sensual and sexy, kind of like tapping back into like R&B for real, for real.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Dancing Shadows is what it was called. Um, but I don't think people are gonna know the songs enough for it to really work.
But
See,
his repertoire though, he still has hits wise, because even Miguel has like underground stuff that people don't know about, but they both have hits.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice mixture of things. Um, Plus Mario's written for a lot of people too. I don't know if Miguel's written for people per se.
I didn't know Mario wrote for people. That's dope.
He wrote for that.
Yeah, he wrote for a lot of
That's
people.
why
Surprise you.
because we've discussed that matchup already too.
Mhm.
I'll go ahead and tell you, it was Neo,
Mm-hmm.
writer singer type of matchup.
Mhm.
I don't know. That's a hard one, Miguel.
Yeah, we gotta find. We gotta
That's a
find
tough
him
one.
an opponent. We have to find him an opponent, ladies
That's a
and
tough
gentlemen.
one because Mario makes sense though. I see
I
why you
agree.
say that because that last album, I agree, that would be phenomenal. But I don't think a lot of people. I don't think that album actually got as much
It did
recognition
not.
as it should have. That was a really good
Didn't.
album.
So good.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But we might be underestimating people too, though, because like the same way we know it and appreciate it, you know, who knows?
It's
Hmm.
possible.
Hmm.
That's very possible.
Very, very possible. Well, shoot, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, hey,
Maybe we'll see.
we'll see how it plays out. Just be on the lookout for that next fans battle because you never know. We just might be having Miguel on the rise for you. But still, Wild Heart, man. Definitely a classic
6
project.
years. Yeah.
6 years.
Yeah. And it feels like that time flew by quick because God, that album, I love that album. That's a great album.
Mhm.
I wonder if he's gonna drop this year. Yeah, I know we were talking about that a little while ago, but Miguel is one I wonder if he's gonna drop this year, and Kendrick is another I wonder if he's
Yeah,
gonna drop
Kendrick's
this year.
due for something.
Kendrick, yeah, he needs to drop.
Dude,
This is getting ridiculous at this point.
it's to a point where if he does, I feel like it's gonna be one of those unpromoted type of deals where like
I think so
just
too.
hits you out the blue and you're like,
Mhm.
what? He
Yeah.
did what? You know, and then next thing you know, it just
Yeah,
blows up. Yeah.
that's why like I even hesitate with saying the off season as album of the year right now because I like who's left to actually drop this year. As much as I love the off season, I think that the other albums would be more like well received in that regard to where it's going to get more of a nod for album of the year over the off season. Even though I think the off season should definitely be considered like that should be top 4 right now, that without any question. But automatically Drake drops one, that's automatically going to be considered. Kendrick
Yep.
drops one, that's automatically considered, and
Correct.
Kanye drops one, that's automatically considered. Like
Ah,
this,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that's why it's
Yeah,
kind of
that's
hard
true.
to debate that one.
That's true. 2021, ladies and gentlemen, we are
Yeah.
just in July. So
Yeah,
we got a ways to go, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna
Yeah.
find out as time goes along, and you only gonna know right here on Past the Ox. So but that being said, that was a great one for music history. Now let's get into the meat of things of what brought this main discussion up. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a nice little rant that went on with an artist that we all know and love very, very much. And this is actually kind of ironic because of the fact that we actually just talked about this artist last episode. And well, without further ado, I'm just gonna let this thing just play out. I'm just gonna play the audio and yeah, let's just sit back, relax, and probably have some laughs because this was very passionate in many ways than one. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's play that following. Cue that clip, sir.
Everybody else's you're making it because you think because you're in the studio like, what's the #1 record right now? We need to make another one of those. Stop doing that. Stop. You're not original. Give me some original shit. Give me some. Are you seriously telling me that you sat here and watched me tell a bitch to eat a dick and you thought that wasn't original? Are you seriously sitting here telling me that eat a dick is the bad part of music? Stop! Just fucking do something else! Just, god damn it! Do Do some different music. We have all the that you're doing. We already have it. Lil Uzi Vert is already doing it. Lil Baby is already doing it. Dub Baby is already doing it. It's literally two with baby in their names that's already doing all the music you want. Do something else. Do something else. That's it. That's all we want. Do something else. Holy We have it. We have it already. You don't have to do that music anymore. We have the music already. We have Lil Baby. We have Dub Baby. We have Lil Uzi Vert. We have Lil Yachty. We have Lil everybody. Do something else. Holy Stop sending me this bullshit and then get mad when I don't like it. Jesus. God damn tap dancing Christ. Do something else.
Yo, it's driving him crazy.
You've lost it.
Oh, you know what? I could keep that playing for long, but we just gonna stop it right there, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. Oh, wow.
Tap dancing was amazing. Oh my God!
Oh, I
man.
never knew T-Pain could be so passionately funny while he's passionate. That is the first time I think any of us have ever heard him go in that hard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
like that, yeah.
Wow. Well, ladies and gents, the floor is now open for discussion, and I need to know: do you agree, disagree? Do you like, love, or hate every bit of what was just stated in this interesting rant of a statement by Mr. T-Pain?
I feel him, bro. I totally understand. And he's probably feeling it more because like for him to kind of have gone through something similar, like where he didn't necessarily invent auto tune, but he tweaked it and made it his own. And then like everybody else after him kind of adapted his sound. He's like, fuck, like, can we do some original stuff? Like the same way I found my own lane, my own thing, like every artist should be doing that. So I totally get it. And it made me think of I watched a podcast, More Than Culture. It's like a comedy podcast with Rodney Jordan, Tyler the Creator, Kamal the Secret Genius, and Remo Rod, I believe. Check me out for knowing everybody's names.
Yeah.
But Kamal the Secret Genius, at the end of every episode, he basically like gives you like this little inspirational vitamin to kind of get you through the next episode. And sometimes you're like, what the hell? But it makes sense.
Mhm.
And they did an episode with Kev on stage, Tamir Moore, and
Tahir.
Tony Baker, Tahir Moore, and then Tony Baker. And he was basically given this metaphor of how like the entertainment industry is kind of like a machine, and it's like a copy machine to where once you take the original and make copies, no one cares about the original anymore. You have all these copies and they're fine. And that's kind of what's happening. Like once people see something that works and they see that it's lucrative and they're making money off of it, okay, so I'm gonna just follow their lead and follow suit so I can make this money too. But it's annoying to feel like you don't know who's singing what because everybody sounds exactly the same.
Yeah. I mean, and excuse me. And just like you said, like for him to get as much flack as he did when he first started, you know, and no one's getting on these guys like that. Like
Yeah.
that makes no sense. And he was considered the person that ruined music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's very hilarious compared to how you listen to these artists nowadays, where it's just like you can't tell the difference between who's who. Like you know what's funny? I'm actually seeing a lot of rappers. I think like Double XL will post about like someone getting a gun charge or something like that. That's the first I've even heard of these artists. You know, I don't know these guys until they get a gun charge.
Yeah.
I don't know who the hell they are. Like there was like three of them in the last week that
Oh
just got arrested.
shoot.
I'm like, I
Yep.
don't never heard of them. You
Never
know,
heard of you.
no,
Who are
like
you?
yeah. So it's like, and I'm not sure if it was T Pain that was talking about this or someone else before a couple months ago, but no, Method Man, who was talking about how all these artists that are coming out now are just like getting so much money from the jump. So I think overall, when you're talking about artistry and actually being paid, the artists that pave the way are looking at these guys like, yo, like what the hell is going on? There's no
Mhm.
talent. Everybody sounds the same, and everybody's making stupid money, and we don't know who's who. Like everyone sounds the same. So yeah, like I think T Pain was actually kind of reserved, to be completely honest. Like he's right. Everybody's doing the same thing. Let's get something else going. That's why you can appreciate the artists that come out that have talent that just sound different. You know, that's why. And I don't want to really dive in deep into this one, but Koi Leray, I think that's her
I
name.
knew this was gonna come up. Oh my
Oh
god.
my god, bro,
What the
what the hell? Like, come on. And she really thinks she had the best double XL freestyle. You don't have a
Mm,
freestyle if you have to rewrite it to make it sound good. Sorry.
mm. Say it
It's
again.
not a freestyle. That's not
Come
a
on, man.
freestyle. That's what like I think again, like the artists that paved the way are looking at these guys like come on, man. Like you're taking away what made hip hop. You're taking the identity away. Like it's one thing if you're just like evolving and you just, you have a different sound or whatever. That's cool. But if you're literally just copy paste, copy
legit.
paste, like that takes away from the artistry of hip hop, music in general. But what hip hop was based on, like you didn't see that when hip hop first came out. You haven't seen that over the last 20 years. It's just like for some reason people just started just doing that copy paste type of style, and it's just come on.
To play devil's advocate, like, do you feel like T Pain, having gone through what he went through, coming out with a different style and creating a wave and being to blame for the death of hip hop because of auto tune, do you feel like he should have some empathy for artists who are like, well, I don't want to go through that because anytime somebody does come out with something different, you are faced with like a lot of criticism, et cetera, et cetera. So let me just be safe. Not saying that you should do that, but that might be a perspective.
Nah, go
No.
ahead. Go ahead.
No.
No, I was gonna say no, 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 nope, 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 no empathy. Because at the end of the day, you can easily turn around and say, I had to go through it.
Mm-hmm.
Look
Mhm,
where I'm at. Look what my career is. I'm
mhm,
arguably considered as one of the greatest to ever do it. I may not always get my respect the way I should,
mhm.
but I know what I did and I know what I laid out, and I dominated a whole year full of features and songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And then some, and still can do some stuff to this day. So it's like, nah, be different. He got all the flack in the world, and yeah, he admitted about the whole, went into a couple year depression. But look how
If I
long it
gotta
took
do
for
it,
us
you
to know
gotta
that.
do it too.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, it's like
yeah.
that's part of the creative process.
It's
Mhm.
paying your dues.
Hmm.
It's paying your dues. Like it doesn't matter what industry you're talking about. Like if you're coming in after someone else that paved the way, you have to pay your dues to the industry. And it's just like it's just a fast paced, almost like a fast food style type of route to success with music nowadays.
Hmm.
No, I'm pretty sure they feel slighted.
Now, I was gonna say a couple of things on this uh, overall subject. It was funny because this felt ironic to me because it was almost kind of like a get off my lawn kind of thing in a way, but
Yeah.
in a reverse sense.
Yeah.
Generally it's, oh, I don't like what y'all doing right now, but it's more like, stop doing what what I helped revolutionize. Like, okay, we get it. All right, auto tunes the sound. Now, can we move on and do something else? So it was like a reverse get off my lawn, but it was totally justifiable. It's not one of those like, oh, you old man, stop. You just mad because you ain't this and that. Like, nah, he makes a legitimate point. Now, um, the thing about it that gets me is where it's so mainstream now, where it's one of those things. I guess as an artist, here's what's so frustrating about trying to do something different. Is that it's hard because darn near whatever you may think you can come up with,
Hmm.
everybody and their mama somewhere, everybody's mind is very similar and thinking alike at times. If there's a style you think, oh, okay, I can probably do this sound and add this to it and add that to it, or I can play with this preset, develop my sound around that preset, and do this. Somebody out there, billions of people in the world,
Hmm.
cross seas, like drill sound. That's kind of catching its own little thing now. Now that's production though. That's not really a sound in terms of, you know, you know, physical sound with your voice, but trying to do something different is always one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't type things,
Hmm.
because you sit here and you ponder and you think and you're like, okay, what could I do to switch up a sound? Then you got to try to see, okay, now you got to experiment and see, okay, how does this sound when I perform it live?
Right.
Are they going to rock with this? Paying the dues as we just mentioned, but just, just guiding you into a way of, it's always tough trying to come up with something creatively when someone else out there is thinking the same thing or doing the same thing.
Hmm.
Then you have to go back to your drawing board and try to figure out, okay, what can I do that somebody else isn't doing? And then trying to perfect the sound to make it high quality enough to be noticeable
Hmm.
by people. There's a lot of things because there's tons of presets to play with in music, but it's almost like you have to try to find it. And that's the frustrating part because Lord knows how long that could even take. That could take
Yeah.
years
Yeah.
trying to find out what can I do to stand out. You could do something one way for a minute. Then on top of that, not only that, now you got to try to get people to catch on to it.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to what T-Pain said about, you can be the first to do something, but you're not going to get the respect for it until everybody else catches on.
Hmm.
Look how long it really took people to catch on to auto-tune anyway
Hmm.
from the time he did it. So
Hmm.
it is frustrating, because I relate to it, I feel it, and I understand it. Trust me, I even think to myself about trying to figure out what to do differently outside the fact that, I mean, it's tough for me because a guy like me has bars. So I'm like, well, J. Cole didn't have to do nothing different. Kendrick didn't have to do nothing different. Those guys, well, I mean, Kendrick does kind of play with his voice from time to time, but still, as does Cole in a way. Cole does
Yeah.
it from time to time too,
Yeah.
which I guess for lyricists, it's a little different to try to come up with something different. But if you're a singer, if you're a mumble rapper, melodic rapper, one of those two things, then yeah, come up with something different if you can. But how? What are you going to come up with that no one's already done before? Auto tune has been around for a long time. Look how long it took to perfect that. So now you got to think, well, what's another effect out there that's been around that nobody's used and tried to make their own sound? It's very tough to find those type of presets. But
Can I ask you something real quick?
hmm,
Is it more so about the sound than the lyrics themselves as a rapper?
uh, I mean, now it's about the sound. It used to be about the lyrics, but there's only a certain audience that appreciates that now because lyricism is not something people care about as much now because of what's been out.
Hmm.
that's my issue with trying to do something different, because now it seems that if you try to do something different, obviously you don't have to be lyrical with it. Now you got to try to figure out, well, because what I was gonna say is I thought things were different when Lil Nas X came out with freaking Old Town Road.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I thought things were finally finna switch, because I thought, oh well, that's different. You got basically a rapper from Atlanta that basically just did country
Mm-hmm.
with a hip hop feel. That's
Mm-hmm.
different.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing I know, I thought that was going to be one hell of a wave, which there are people, I'm finding more black country artists these days than I ever did before. But still just one of those things where that didn't go quite differently as I thought it was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Lil Nas X still blew up, but I didn't think it did. The trend didn't go the way I thought it was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
To where now I'm like, well, hmm, the country hip hop thing worked for him for a minute. He didn't stick with that, but it
For
worked
one
with him.
song. Yeah.
Yeah, it worked for him. He didn't stick with it though, because he only did it that one time. It didn't really stick with him. He could have made that a thing and probably had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hits by now if he kind of stuck with that, right? I guess, but
Well,
I
I
don't
think
know,
his
man.
last song was charted well, right?
Yeah, it
Montero,
was.
I think that was called.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you would classify that as. I mean, he has a sound. I don't know how you would classify his
I was
sound
gonna
per se.
say, like, is he considered to be a rapper? Is he pop? Is he a singer? Like, what is his genre? Like, what genre do they put him in? Because I know it's hard to categorize people now, but
See, that's one I can't even answer honestly, because people said rapper because of the fact that he was just black doing country music.
Yeah.
yeah,
As
so
a
he's
rapper.
automatically
I
a
thought he
rapper.
was pop.
He gives me
He
pop
he
vibes.
is pop pretty much. Yeah, you might as well say that's exactly what his genre is pop, because you don't really just hear him on hip hop
Yeah.
Right.
stations, and you might have heard Old Town Road on a hip hop station from time to time,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, but that's mostly probably because of how the beat sounded itself.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But modern day now, anything he puts out, yeah, that's definitely more pop than anything. He's got like a Flow Rider vibe to him.
Mm,
Yeah.
that was great.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
because
That
Flow
works.
Rider was the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Guys like him and Pitbull, where you're just like, oh, they're rappers. No, because the rap community does not accept them, so they're not rappers.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're pop stars.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That makes sense.
Making
Yeah.
pop
That
music
makes a lot
money.
of sense.
Yeah. So yeah, that's. But I mean, yeah, it's one of those things, man. I would love to know. I mean, I'm still experimenting myself in some kind of way. I do sit there and try to figure out what would be something, because I always have been like a different kind of person. I do like doing something that nobody else think about doing.
Mm-hmm.
But it is tough. With music, is just tough, and the reason that I say it's tough is just because everything's a copycat of something.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're coming up with something new per se, it's not even going to be new, because something that existed at one point in time, but now you got to figure out how can you bring it back or
Yeah.
reinvent it, right?
Yeah.
Because shoot, auto tune again, as we mentioned a million times with T Pain, that was not something he created. It
Right.
existed for a long time. He
Right.
just so happened to finally find it, perfect it to a point where it was his sound, revolutionize it. Now it's everywhere. So I don't know, y'all. Y'all tell me. That's just an artist side saying these type of things, but I don't know.
Well, yeah, but like, so I understand the dilemma of trying to figure out a sound that might be different, but I almost feel like, and maybe this is just me being more so old school, but I almost feel like in today's music, lyricism would set you apart. Because
Yeah.
if you think about it, like we've heard J. Cole and Kendrick rap on on mumble rap beats, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they do the mumble rap style, but they're just lyrical with it. And that's different. That's different than what we're listening to nowadays. Like with your music, you can take almost any style that
Mhm.
you like or that you find inspiration with and be lyrical with it. It's almost like being anti industry almost like, because that's where the industry is going to more so vibes and melodies nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
it doesn't even matter if they're saying the same thing over and over again, or they're just throwing out random gibberish. It, as long as it has a good vibe to it, is fine. So
True.
like lyrics make you different today, in my opinion.
That's a good see, this is why I love Pastor Ox. You see what I mean? Because this is why we give you guys all these perspectives on all these sides. So that right there is a true listener side. So now I want to listen to the Queen's perspective real quick. And I need to know, Queen, what do you say based off that? Like based off what Derrick just said, what are your thoughts?
No, I agree with that. It almost like from what you're from Derrick's perspective, it almost seems like your success as an artist, you're almost at the liberty of the producer or the engineer
Yeah.
to just make sure that you have a fire beat and that they play with your voice enough to where you can be saying absolutely nothing, but it sounds good on the beat. So it's like the artistry isn't even in the artist anymore. It's in the boards and in the
Yeah.
engineers.
Yeah, no, actually, you're right. That's very accurate. I like how you were like very hesitant with how you were about to say that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really know the
I
music
don't
terminology,
know who
but
is
you
who,
said it
but
right.
okay.
The engineer's mixing board. You can say the mixing board. You can
Yeah.
literally say
I'm
the
learning.
the compressors and different things like that. Yeah, you're getting your terms there. I like. See, look, man. Hey, my co-host Queen knows what she's talking about, even when she
Yeah.
thinks she doesn't. Y'all, don't, y'all know it. We know it, and we back her up anytime and every time. We know she know her stuff, baby. But yeah, man. All in all, though, I guess the moral is, yeah. I mean, do something different. Yet that's not up to you anymore. It's kind of more so up to your producers, your engineers. Like, what you gonna come up with? What you gonna do?
And is that if you're not independent?
It could be if you're independent. If you're not independent, it could be a little bit of anywhere, honestly,
Okay.
because you can find inspiration from anywhere and anything. I mean, maybe somebody wants to do stomp sounds, you
Okay.
know, you know, y'all know about stomp. I know y'all
Yeah,
No,
we
know
do.
stomp.
so I'm actually talking to like what Janine just said though, like about you being at the mercy of the producer, pretty much. Is that something you find more so being signed to a label, or is that just in general, even if you're an independent artist, where you feel like that?
I don't know. I guess I would assume either or, because even if you are independent, like for instance, like Metro Boomin in Future.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like Future, I would consider to be independent, right? But that was his producer, like that was his guy, like that is who he went to.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But Future be saying some shit though, so I don't know if he falls into that category. He be saying some stuff, but then there's a lot of little futures that came up under him and then kind of copied his style. So
I love how you
yeah.
said that. Little futures. When's that guy coming out with something again? That's what I want to know. There's a guy you don't hear much about anymore these days in terms of albums and projects. When's he coming out with something? Future, where you at, man? What's going
Right.
on here? Where you
Does
at,
Future
dude?
need to come out with something now? Like,
I don't think we'll
Well,
ever decline a Future project ever. So whenever
yeah,
he's ready.
yeah, see, I
I
mean,
think it might be good to have a break for him.
You think so? You think he's oversaturated the market?
I maybe because of what you just said. Like,
Yeah.
you have these other people that are copying his sound that it's like, like you're throwing rain into the ocean. Like it doesn't even make sense. Like why? Why? Like
When you throw rain into the ocean, though, you gotta understand the currents become a bigger wave and they cause more of a tsunami effect.
Yes. Gotta use the brain
That's
cells.
true.
Yes.
That's
You gotta
true.
remember
That's
that.
true.
Hey,
That's
hey,
true.
you know,
And then it goes back to the original. Like, yes, there's copies, but like Future's sauce when he come onto a record is different. Like, you know it's Future.
Yeah.
So
believe me, Designer tried it. It didn't work that well.
No, it did not. It did not.
He had one hit.
Prime example.
He tried it very hard and it went very south.
Panda did well for him though.
Oh yeah, I mean it's all he needed
was
apparently, you know, but still, it's just ain't it one to Future's how many? It just there you go.
Yeah.
God bless.
Give that guy. Well, we kind of there's people who talked about that already. I was gonna say give that guy a fans battle, but we know that we already know there's people that have talked about that one already. You know, so it's he's getting thrown out there. When it happens, I don't know, but give that guy a fans battle. He deserves it. Future needs it.
Indeed.
He needs it. Well, ladies and gents, boys and girls, I mean, as much as I love y'all, and we love y'all, all good things always come to an end. And
that ain't it.
You already know, like
past that.
It's about that time already, ladies and gentlemen, and I can't believe it, but we about to call this thing a Rizap. So you already know, man. Make sure you following all things Past the Ox. Make sure you follow us at PTAOTS on Instagram. Make sure you follow OTS guys on Instagram, on Twitter. You know what I mean? Visit the website, www.otsguys.com. We got some dope stuff in store. Dope guests coming for y'all soon. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's your boy Dwayne. That's Derrick. This is Janean. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you look for us. Y'all already know where we at. And until the next time, baby, we're going to catch y'all later. Pass the Ox officially over to you, ladies and gentlemen. So, hey, y'all, let's go ahead and get up out this thing. Hey, T-Pain, go ahead and say something to him real quick.
Stop sending me this bullshit and then get mad.